Listen to me for a moment. Not with effort, not with fear, just listen. I know how tight your chest feels right now. I know how your breath has been shallow for longer than you can remember. You wake up tired. You go to bed exhausted, and even when nothing is happening, your body stays alert as if something bad is about to arrive. You tell yourself you are fine. You keep moving. You keep functioning. But inside, there is no room to rest. I see that. I have always seen that. You are not broken. You are not weak. What you are feeling is what happens when someone has been strong for too long without feeling safe enough to stop. Your breath did not disappear by accident. It tightened because your heart has been carrying more than it was meant to carry. Alone, you learn to survive. Quietly, you learn to stay ready. You learn to hold everything together even when no one noticed the cost. But I did not create you to live in constant tension. I did not design your body to remain in fear mode forever. Peace was never meant to be something you chase or force. It was meant to be something you return to. Right now, I am not asking you to understand everything. I am not asking you to solve your life. I am asking you to stay here with me long enough to remember how it feels to breathe again. You do not need to protect yourself in this moment. You do not need to be on guard. Nothing is about to demand something from you. This is a pause, a real one. And if your chest feels tight as you listen, that does not mean you are failing. It means your body has been waiting for permission to let go. Stay. There is more safety ahead than you think. There is a reason your breath changed before your thoughts did. Long before your mind began racing, your body learned to stay alert. It learned that relaxing was risky. It learned that silence could turn dangerous, so it stayed tense, ready, prepared, even when there was no visible threat. This is not anxiety as a label. This is survival that never received the signal that it could stop. You did not choose this consciously. It happened slowly, one moment of pressure after another, one responsibility layered on top of the last, one disappointment that never fully healed. Your body adapted because it loves you. It tried to keep you safe by staying awake, by staying tight, by staying ready. That is why telling yourself to calm down never worked. Your body does not respond to commands. It responds to safety. This is where I want you to understand something important. I do not see your tension as lack of faith. I see it as evidence of how much you have endured. You have been breathing in short breaths because your system believes danger is always nearby. And until that belief changes, peace will always feel distant. But here is the truth. You need to hear slowly. You are not in danger right now, not in this moment, Nothing is chasing you. Nothing is about to collapse. As you sit here listening, you are held. Your body does not know that yet, but your soul does. And when the soul recognizes safety, the body can begin to follow. That is where breathing again begins, not by force, not by effort, but by realizing you are no longer alone in carrying the weight. There is a quiet mistake many people make when their breath feels trapped. They try to fix it. They try to calm themselves down, control their thoughts, slow their heart, silence their fear. And when it does not work, they feel even more broken. I want you to hear this clearly. Peace was never meant to be forced. Calm was never meant to be commanded. Your nervous system does not soften when it feels pressured. It softens when it feels safe. Every time you told yourself to relax, your body heard urgency instead of comfort. Every time you pushed your thoughts away, your mind learned that something must be wrong. That is why the tightness stayed. That is why the breath never fully returned. You were fighting the very part of you that was trying to protect you. I am not asking you to silence your thoughts. I am not asking you to control your emotions. I am asking you to stop treating your fear like an enemy. Fear is not the problem. Fear is a signal. It is the voice of a system that has been on duty for too long, waiting for reassurance that never came. Look at me for a moment. Do you feel how there is no rush in my voice? No demand, no pressure. I'm not standing over you telling you to do better. I am sitting beside you, steady, present, unthreatening. This is how peace begins, not when your thoughts stop, but when your body realizes it does not have to defend itself anymore. You do not calm down to earn peace. Peace arrives when you stop striving for it, when you allow yourself to be held instead of fixed, when you understand that nothing about you needs to be corrected in order to rest. This is the shift, and once it begins, your breath starts to loosen on its own, quietly, naturally, without force. I want to show you something different about me. Many people believe I come with expectations, with pressure, with a list of things you must fix before you can rest. That belief alone keeps your chest tight. Because how could you breathe if you think even God is waiting for more from you? But listen carefully. I do not approach you with urgency. I approach you with presence. When you are exhausted, I do not tell you to push harder. When your breath feels trapped, I do not tell you to figure it out. I draw closer and I become steady so your system can borrow my calm. This is not weakness. This is design. I created you to regulate through connection, not isolation. That is why being alone with your thoughts feels unbearable, but being understood feels relieving. You were never meant to self-soothe your way into peace. You were meant to be with me, not performing, not explaining, just being. My presence tells your body something your mind has forgotten. You are safe enough to stop scanning. You are allowed to rest without consequences. Nothing bad happens when you slow down here. Notice how I am not asking you questions that demand answers. I'm not analyzing you. I am not diagnosing you. I am staying, and staying is powerful because the moment your body realizes it is not alone, it no longer needs to stay alert. That is when the breath begins to deepen, not because you tried, but because you were met. This is the foundation you have been missing. Peace does not start in your thoughts. It starts in relationship. And once your body feels accompanied instead of abandoned, everything inside you begins to reorganize itself slowly, gently, in the right order. There is a moment that changes everything, and it is quieter than you expect. It happens when your body realizes it is no longer being watched by danger, not when your problems disappear, not when your life suddenly makes sense, but when your system receives one clear message: you are not under threat right now. That message does not come through logic. It comes through presence. Your body has been living as if something bad could happen at any second. That is why it never fully released. That is why even good moments felt tense. But safety is not proven by evidence. It is felt. And until safety is felt, your breath will always hesitate. This is why I stay close instead of giving you instructions, because closeness communicates safety faster than words ever could. As you remain here, something subtle begins to happen. Your shoulders drop without you telling them to. Your jaw softens without permission. Your breath reaches a little deeper without effort. This is not you fixing yourself. This is your system updating. It is learning that the moment you are in does not require defense. I want you to understand this clearly. Nothing bad happens when you stop bracing. Nothing collapses when you rest in me. The world does not fall apart because you paused. That fear was never truth. It was exhaustion speaking, and exhaustion lies about danger. Stay with this realization. You are safe in this moment. And when that truth settles, breathing again no longer feels like a task. It feels like a return. I know you have learned to keep moving because stopping once felt dangerous. You learned that rest could invite disappointment, that slowing down could make things fall apart. So you stayed alert. You stayed useful. You stayed strong. And over time, your body confused constant effort with safety. That is why stillness feels uncomfortable. That is why silence can feel loud. That is why breathing deeply can feel unfamiliar. But hear me now. I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to stop carrying it alone. There is a difference. When you rest with me, you are not giving up. You are handing over what was never meant to live only in your chest. You were not designed to be the source of your own stability. You were designed to lean. Notice how I do not rush you through this. I am not counting how long it takes for you to relax. I am not measuring your progress. I am patient because healing does not respond to pressure. It responds to permission. And right now, you are being given permission to slow your inner world without fear of consequence. You do not need to earn this rest. You do not need to prove you deserve peace. The moment you stopped striving here, something important happened. You allowed yourself to be supported, and when support is felt, the body finally stops bracing for impact. That never comes. This is where breathing again becomes possible, not because life is suddenly easy, but because you are no longer alone inside it. Breathing again is not about learning a technique. It is about trusting a presence. When your breath was shallow, it was because trust had been interrupted. Somewhere along the way, you learned that you had to stay ready, stay guarded, stay ahead of what might hurt you. Trust felt risky. Letting go felt unsafe. So your breath stayed high, careful, restrained. I am not asking you to trust everything. I am asking you to trust me with this moment. Trust does not begin with belief. It begins with allowance. Allowing yourself to be here without preparing for what comes next. Allowing your breath to arrive naturally instead of managing it. Allowing your body to learn that support exists outside of effort. This is why breathing again is an act of trust. Each deeper breath is your system saying, maybe I do not have to protect myself right now. Maybe I can let something else hold me. And when that happens, even briefly, your body starts to rewrite what safety feels like. You do not need to make this happen. You do not stay aware of my steadiness. Let need to force a deeper breath. If you try, your system will resist. Instead, stay connected, gently, one moment at a time. Your body notice that nothing's being demanded from you. That is how trust grows. Quietly commanded it. But because and as trust returns, your breath follows. Not because you body finally believes it is okay to rest. Peace is not loud when almost unnoticed, like a room, it arrives. It does not announce itself with fireworks or sudden relief. It enters quietly, becoming warmer without you realizing when the heat was turned on. Many people miss it because they are waiting for something dramatic. They expect calm to feel intense, powerful, overwhelming. But real peace feels simple. It feels ordinary. It feels like urgency leaving your body. This is why you may steady breath can feel strange. Think nothing has changed even when everything has. The absence of panic can feel unfamiliar. A quiet mind can feel empty. At where fear once stayed awake, I first. But that emptiness is not loss. It is space. Space where tension used to live. Space wants you to stop measuring peace by emotion. Peace is not excitement. It is not happiness. It is the moment your body no longer needs to rush you. Breath flows without permission. Forward. It is the moment your thoughts stop arguing with each other. It is the moment your. That is how you know it is real. Do not rush past this. Do not search for the next feeling. Let this calm exist without questioning it. When peace is allowed to stay quiet, it settles deeper. And when it settles deeper, it becomes something you can return to again and again. This is what breathing again truly means. Not escaping your life, but living inside it without constant pressure. I want to invite you into a pause that does not require effort, not a technique, not a ritual, just awareness. Awareness that you are here, and I am here with you. Nothing needs to change for this moment to be valid. You do not need to reach a certain feeling. You do not need to clear your mind. You only need to stay as you sit. With this, notice what your body is already doing on its own. Notice the places that feel softer than before. Notice that your breath is arriving without instructions. This is not something you created. This is something you allowed. And allowance is powerful. It tells thoughts come and go. Let them. Your system that it is safe to exist without performing. If your mind wanders, let it. If pass without chasing them. You are not failing when thoughts appear. You are learning that thoughts do not control safety. Presence does, and presence is here, steady, unmoving, patient. This pause is teaching your body a new truth. That stillness does not lead to danger. That silence does not mean abandonment. That rest does not invite loss. Each second you remain here, that truth settles deeper. And with it, your breath continues to open. You can return to this pause anytime, not by recreating it, but by remembering it exists. This is not something you lose. It is something you carry forward quietly inside your breath. As you prepare to leave this moment, I want you to know something important. Nothing we did here disappears. When the sound fades, what you felt was not created by words. It was revealed by presence. And presence does not end when the video does. It stays with you, waiting to be noticed again. You will return to your day. Responsibilities will still exist. Thoughts may come back. Sensations may rise again. That point your body did not have does not mean this moment failed. It means life continues. And now you carry a reference. before, a memory of safety, a reminder that calm is possible without effort. When your chest tightens again, do not panic. Do not judge yourself. Let that tension remind you of this. Please let it remind you that you know what it feels like to slow down without collapsing. You know what it feels like to be held instead of hurried. That knowing matters more than constant calm. I am not asking you to stay peaceful all the time. I am asking you to remember where peace lives. It lives in connection. It lives in presence. It lives in the moment. You allow yourself to stop, bracing, and simply breathe. You can come back here whenever you need, not to escape your life, but to live it without fear, tightening your breath. I am with you beyond this moment, and you are safe to breathe again. Finally, let this truth settle without resistance. You do not have to fix yourself before you are loved. You do not have to calm down before you are welcomed. You do not have to understand everything before you are held. I meet you exactly where you are, breathing exactly as you are breathing right now. If tomorrow feels heavy again, that does not erase what happened here. It means you are human. And when it feels heavy, remember this: you are not meant to carry the weight of life with a tight chest and a guarded heart. You are meant to live supported, accompanied, seen. That is why I invite you back to your breath again and again, not as a task, but as a reminder of where safety lives. Each time, choosing trust over control, you allow your breath to deepen. Naturally, you are agreeing with truth instead of fear. You are choosing connection over isolation. This is not dramatic. This is faithful. This is how healing actually grows. You are not alone when the silence returns. You are not forgotten when the noise comes back. I remain steady, patient, present, and whenever you need to, remember who you are and where peace begins. You already know the way. You are safe to breathe again